Hi everybody, it's Vera and Christina from SoulsEnlightenment.com.
Yeah. Vera has picked a very interesting topic to talk about today. You want to tell them who we're going to talk about?
Rhonda Rousey.
And I'm really fascinated by this because, I was bringing her up before to Vera because, like over the summer, I think it was, and I wanted to talk about her, but you weren't really feeling it.
I couldn't pick up anything.
But what's fascinating? It wasn't until after her loss.
And
then
I
all
brought
of a
it up,
sudden
huh?
you go, who I want to talk about? And I was interested because it's like...
You were like 3 months ago.
Well, no,
Yeah.
but that means that there was a lesson in her loss.
That's right. Yeah,
and that's
right.
exactly what you were picking up on.
Yeah.
So Vera, do
Yeah.
tell. I and everybody else would like to know, what do you feel about Rhonda? Was there a lesson attached to this loss, or what's going on?
It's kind of a no-brainer. Of course, there was a lesson,
right?
But what was it, or what is it? Was it because we're, it's probably in the future right now that you're watching this, but in a past life, she was with a relative that's in her life now, not her father. It was somebody else.
He's passed on.
Yeah, it wasn't her father. But this person was her husband in a past life.
I see.
And I don't know if they were in an area where they needed to have toughness, and she wasn't tough at all in that past life.
Interesting.
Yeah, she was kind of, I don't want to say wimpy, but she was very soft, very, kind and soft and fluffy kittens and all that kind of stuff.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so he would constantly beat her.
Verbally?
Physically and verbally, to toughen her up.
Wow.
He loved her, but he didn't feel he was doing, he thought he was helping her to toughen her up because of the area that they were in. They needed to have, the men and women had to be tough in that time frame. So he was, helping her because he knew if he's not around, she's dead meat, right?
I see.
So he thought he was doing a good thing, but it really kind of broke her spirit in that past life. So in this lifetime, she's trying to overcompensate.
That's fascinating.
Yeah, because her lesson in this lifetime is to have that strength, have that confidence, to be able to do what she does. But what Rhonda started doing is that I don't want to say overconfident. Help me out here.
Okay.
Because you need to be confident.
Right.
But she was cocky, I guess you could say.
Yeah, cocky.
And sometimes people in life think that's a good thing because it helps you be tougher, but go ahead.
I wanted to mention real quick, just in case anybody doesn't know, Rhonda Rousey is a woman who, she is in the UFC, the Ultimate Fighter.
Right.
She's an Ultimate Fighter. And so that's really interesting how in the past life she was so not that. And in this life she completely overcompensated, like you said, and went into a man's sport. And she was actually the one pioneer for women.
Amazing.
For women in the sport. So she's done some pretty incredible things. On her, and then she's coming up, but then you're saying what happened is, and a lot of people are saying the same thing really, is that she became very cocky and projecting out onto other people things.
Except they don't realize that she still brought back that fear of not being tough enough.
Not being tough enough.
So really, she still had that. She looked like very confident, but she still had that thing that she was working out in this lifetime. Where she needed to be really tough. Really tough. Yeah. But what goes up must come down.
Yeah.
And it's how you go down.
That's
really where the lesson is too, because you can go down where you're maybe just this far down instead of crashing, to the bottom, because the universe will give you that lesson if you need it. Boy, did she get it.
Yeah. Right.
But there's nothing wrong with being confident. There's nothing wrong with, any of that stuff. But whenever you start taunting people.
Right, right. I mean, like you said...
But men do it, so, I don't want to say that she shouldn't do it either, but still, that wasn't her lesson in this lifetime.
Yeah, and I
I don't want to say it's because she's a woman. It was this lesson was that she was supposed to be where she is, but with, I don't want to even say grace and dignity, but yes, and not to put people down while you're up.
Yeah, because, I've heard that a real test for people, even more so than when they're down, is when they have success.
Exactly.
And you're right, it's not whether it's a man or woman, because there has been men, we were just talking about it before this video, men in sports, like a famous boxer back in the day, and it really turned me off how he was to people. Not that Rhonda's just like that. I'm just saying that type of, and I think a lot of people are like that. They get a little turned off, by people who,
But like nowadays, it's kind of like the thing is to be cocky and tough and yell at people.
That's true, yeah.
Look at
they get more attention. They get more attention. Yeah. That's true. Yeah, politics it shows us that
with Trump and all that. But
still
that
there
wasn't
is the spiritual
lesson. Yeah, her lesson in this lifetime was to be that strong person that she was supposed to be, but treat people with dignity and respect.
And grace.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Somebody told me one time, and I pictured it like you're climbing a ladder. They were saying something like, be nice to the people you're as you're climbing up, because they're the same people as you're climbing back down. And that's like gives me the chills, because it's like it's so true.
Yeah.
How we respond, interact with these people, whether it's like, pushing them down or bringing them up. We're going to meet them on the way back, and we hope that we treated them well.
Yeah. Because, like when you're about to do your sport and you don't shake hands, that's so unsportsmanlike, man or woman.
Yeah.
Buck up, shake hands, and then do your thing.
Right. Yeah. Right.
So it kind of got out of her, she got kind of out of control with that kind of situation, but it was just a lesson to remind her that is what she's supposed to be doing. She is supposed to be that, that pioneer woman that's changing things and stuff. But
and it's interesting too, because a lot of times people think that being abrasive and loud, not that I'm just saying abrasive and loud and physically strong and domineering is strength, but it doesn't mean that is strength.
Yeah, because even with women in the workplace, when a guy is acting like that, he's confident. But if a woman does it, she's a bitch.
Right.
So that's what she had to deal with too. So, she was in a difficult situation. And we'll see how she handles it.
Yeah. We certainly
so
will.
Maybe as we're talking right now, she's back on top,
Yeah. Yeah. And maybe having learned that lesson, and I was going to mention too is, I was telling Vera, the images that I think of when I think of her actually are my Joan of Arc pictures. There's this one Joan of Arc picture that I drew, I'll show you to you later at the end.
Yeah.
Where she's being embraced by her angels and taken home to heaven after when she died in that life. And it reminds me of this type of situation because, no matter, what situation that we've faced where we have, like say well, in this case, she's really put herself out there.
Yeah.
And there's this, if anything happens to us publicly, any type of humiliation or defamation of character or whatever, it's huge.
It's magnified.
Yeah, exactly. It's like that no matter what, we are always embraced by God. We're always embraced, and we always have value and are loved by those who really matter, especially ourselves. And when we can love ourselves, that emanates out, and we can have more grace towards other people. Exactly. It's kind of all connected, isn't it?
Yeah. Because she's a good person.
Yeah, she's a good person, and maybe
it just got carried away a little bit.
Exactly, but like you said, this will be her lesson. And for a lot of us.
And now there's nowhere for her to go but
back up.
Exactly. Yeah. So.
Yeah. That's neat.
Hang in there.
Exactly. Well, thank you for joining us today, and Vera and I are looking forward to sharing more with you very soon.
See you later.
Bye.